Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Bella Busy here. If you have not done so yet, please subscribe. And if you like anything that this video has to offer today, make sure you give it a like at the end. Would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. So today we're making Pollo Guisado. And this is definitely a Puerto Rican staple and just a favorite that we love to make. And it's definitely one of our go-tos in terms of how we like to make chicken. It's so good, it's super savory, and it takes basically all the same foundational ingredients that you would make in a lot of other recipes that you'll notice that the Boricuas make. I use very similar recipes and ingredients when it comes to making the arroz con gandules, and so I make it here in my Pollo Guisado. So basically I started off with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then I added the equivalent of 3 cloves of garlic, which I put in my garlic press, and I just crushed it and added that. Don't like to take too much time chopping. I would prefer to just kind of use it in my garlic press so it becomes a little pasty and a little choppy, so you can taste it as it, when you're eating your food. And then I added 3 tablespoons of sofrito. Now, if you guys are wondering how to make the sofrito, I made this particular sofrito when I made my keto arroz con salchicha. And you can find that on one of my other videos, so I can show you. Really super simple to do, and it's something that lasts for a long time that you can use. You can freeze it, you can put it in your refrigerator however often you're cooking. I do these types of recipes on the weekends, so I use it on the weekends when I'm making something very savory or something with that Puerto Rican flair. And then I went ahead and added 3 packets of SAZON GOYA. My particular SAZON that I really love when they have it in the stores is the SAZON con achote y culantro. Super savory, love that one. Sometimes they have the SAZON con anato, and that works just as good too. And then here I added a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of salt, and then about a half teaspoon of black pepper. Now keep in mind, guys, that when you make these this particular recipe, you make it to your liking, your palate and how you season your food. The salty, the savory, maybe the less salty is going to be completely up to you. There's no wrong way to do this. Again, these are just ideas, the foundation. It's like the building blocks to making your pollo guisado, and you can add more to it. You can add like olives, and you can add if you wanted to add a little bit of tocino, a little bit of bacon. There's so much that you can do with it. I unfortunately didn't have olives. I'd love to add olives because the olives bring out, it just goes well with all the flavors that we add to our Puerto Rican recipes. That it just, if you're Puerto Rican, you know what I'm talking about. But so here I'm adding the chicken, and I love what I did with this particular recipe today because I was able to purchase some chicken that was on sale at my local supermarket, and it was the picnic pack, and some of you guys know, you've seen it, where it's like half thighs and half chicken legs, and it works out great because some of us have our preferences in what we like to eat here in the home. Some like chicken thighs and some of us like chicken legs. I'm a chicken leg girl, so we all get to pick and choose our pieces, and it just makes it fun and festive to eat, especially when you're cooking for family. So here you'll see that I'm continuing to add my chicken, and it's already boiling at the bottom, which is great. And what I will do is lather that chicken with 1 full can of tomato sauce, and then oops, got a little sloppy there. And then I'll add just enough water, but I'm going to add hot water to cover the chicken, kind of like just to let it bathe in there. And then all the flavors from the bottom, rise up over and to the top of the chicken, and then it makes it easier for me to just kind of stir it around, and then let them begin to cook in the caldo, which is really, at this point, I mean, again, just these flavors, people will love you when you start cooking these flavors for them. I mean, it is just super appetizing, super mouth-watering, and again, if you make this recipe, I would love to hear what you guys think about it. Again, take this and run with it, make it your own, add your own flair to it. I would love to hear what you guys are doing different, or if there's something that you think I should have added, which would be great. But I'll tell you that just like this is great alone. So go ahead and cover your pollo, and then you let it, come to a rolling boil. Like, this is a an extreme boil, but a rolling boil. So that way you know that it's, you know, doing what it needs to do. And then you're going to lower the heat down, and you're going to want to bring it down to a simmer. So what I'm doing here is now we're at the halfway cooking point, and I'm just going ahead and turning around the chicken, just kind of shifting it around, because you want to make sure that you get even cooking points throughout the caldo. And then once that's done, you just go ahead and give them a little shifty shift, and then cover it back up and let them stew. And then once they're cooked, what I like to do is I like to come back and, well, when I make this, let me go back a little bit. When you make the pollo guisado, I make this with papas and with carrots. So what I do is, because my olla was too small, I had to remove my chicken and set it aside. And then what I was planning on doing next was adding the potatoes to cook in the stew. And you'll see that I do that here shortly. But I want to make sure that everything looks good. I check the consistency of the stew, you know, of the caldo. Make sure that it's cooking thoroughly. Chicken's looking good. So now what I'm about to do is I'm going to go ahead and start removing the chicken, because there's absolutely no room for my potatoes in there. And my mom told me when I bought the olla, and she said, mija, cuando tú compras un caldero, tienes que comprar el grandotote para que te quepe todo el arroz, o todo, si vas a hacer pollo guisado, para que te quepe toda la comida, porque un calderito así no te va a usar. So basically my mama told me that when I bought my own caldero, to buy the big one, because when you cook arroz con gandules, or when you make pollo guisado, you know, you want everything to fit accordingly. And of course I didn't listen, so sorry, Mom. But lesson learned. I will definitely order a larger caldero. But in the interim, you know, if you guys don't have a super large caldero, my mom has one that feeds like all of Puerto Rico. Mine's is relatively small considering, you know, the one that she was talking about, but it does the job. And so again, as you see, I did remove the chicken, just kind of let it continue to simmer. And now I'm going to add my potatoes, and then I'm going to cook the potatoes in the same, you know, caldo that I cooked the chicken in, to give it that flavor. Now, however you guys choose to do it, you could do it differently. If you want to pre-cook your potatoes, like just in regular boiling salted water, you totally can do that. That could help if you don't have a big pot, like I don't have a big, you know, caldero to cook your potatoes in at the same time as your chicken. But it works out great. Again, you know, at the end of the day, it's all going to taste amazing when you combine the flavors and you pour the salsa of the caldo over your chicken and your rice or whatever it is you're eating it with. You know, the potatoes are going to be amazing, the carrots are going to be amazing, and the chicken is going to be to die for. So you'll see here, I'm not sure how my camera shifted to the side here, but you can get the gist of what I'm doing. And I'm adding now my carrots to the potatoes so they can stew together. And I have to tell you, this makes such a great base for the caldo, because it actually thickens it up. And that's another thing about when I love making pollo guisado, is that the caldo is thick. Some people like it thin and runny. Again, todo es preferencia. So, you know, whatever you prefer. But I'm making it how I like it, and how I think is, you know, best for me and my family on this particular day. So there's no wrong way to do this again, guys. So now the potatoes, you know, they've been cooking for a while. I'd probably say, you know, in the vicinity of 15 to 20 minutes. I like to take, you know, a fork or some sort of sharp object and put it right through the middle, just to make sure that they're tender. And the potatoes are ready, and the carrots are ready. So you can see that the caldo is a little bit thicker because of the starch of the potatoes. And at this point, again, house is smelling amazing. This is Sunday dinner. Just, you know, everybody's about, you know, just waking up from a long Saturday, long weekend, to enjoy this amazing Puerto Rican classic, pollo guisado. I just made arroz con gandules the day before, so you know we are going to have this pollo guisado with some arroz con gandules, and that just ends the weekend on such a great note. I cannot tell you, but you can actually have this like with white rice, or just alone. You know, como decimos en Boricuas, así se come uno el pollo guisado así pelado. No se necesita nada más. Pero a veces nos gustamos el aguacate o un poquito de arroz blanco. You know, you can have a little bit of avocado. You can have some white rice. Whatever you feel like doing. But here I'm fishing out the potatoes and the carrots, because I don't want them to fall apart. I'm trying to figure out a way at this point, because again, my caldero is so small. you know, to make sure that when I add the chicken and the potatoes and the carrots back together, that it's not going to fall apart too much on me because they are super soft. So I will have to, at this point, change pots. Bam, here we go. So I do change pots, and you'll see that some of my potatoes came apart, but oh my goodness, you guys, this is amazing. Like, I just wanted to dive in there. Like, I didn't even care. And this is the final product. Like I told you, this pollo guisado is delicious. It's creamy. It goes well with arroz con gandules, arroz blanco, or así pelao, just by itself. However you wish, you got to make this. You will love it. I promise you, it's super tasty, super savory. Your family will thank you for it. If you like what you saw here, please give this girl a subscribe and a like. Appreciate the support and the help. And I'll just keep making more for you guys. But again, this is pollo guisado a la Bella Busy, Puerto Rican style. Enjoy. And again, end your weekend on a good note. Have a good one. Thanks.